Warning: this video is intended for audiences who are 13 or older. If you are not 13 or older, please fuck off and tell your parents to moderate what you watch online.
William, hey.
Yeah.
Boy, I did not expect what was gonna happen in this episode for it to how it happened.
What, you're talking about the whole ghost plot and the phone booth and
Yeah,
the whole,
I was like, boy, this was a real episode, you know.
They actually resolved it feels like they actually resolved someone's issues, you know, which is surprising considering the fact that they just beat them up and they know they never remember afterwards, and they probably just end up becoming a monster again in a few weeks.
Right. Boy, I can't wait to get to talk about the monster of the week. You know, that's a whole fucking thing. Right.
Yeah, with our what is this based on?
Boy, I'll save it when we get there. I can't wait to talk about it. You know, that's the thing, right? Right. I can't wait, but don't. Hey, but you know what? But we can. You know what we can talk about? Oh, we're supposed to say what can we talk about? Say what?
No, I was expecting you. Okay, what can we talk about, Austin?
What can we talk about? Is our weekly unnamed tokusatsu podcast series about Avataro Sentai Donbrothers. A weekly discussion series where I offer a person who is a big fan of Patrick Swayze in the wait, hold on. In the 1990 classic movie Ghost, and joined every week by my friend William.
That's what the
That's you, William. A person who does not get my hip relevant pop culture reference.
That is barely relevant to this day. It was only popular back then. That's why it's a pop culture thing back in the day.
Donbrothers. Hey, welcome to episode 19. Hello, Ghost. What do you mean? Everybody knows about the 1990 classic movie Ghost, starring Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, if you're the same age as your own goddamn mother.
Oh boy, hey, look, man, look, 1990s wasn't that long ago. It was only 10 years ago, you know.
Yeah, 10. Hello? And it was not 10 years ago. It's 2022 right now.
I know. But that movie is. I did not realize that. It did not occur to me until I was looking it up for the date. That Ghost is 30 years old now.
Oh my god. I mean, god damn. I mean, I know like movies that get old, but like still. I mean, hell, movies are even older than that. It's like since the 1940s. What is the oldest film that I think on?
Wow, fucking it! Wasn't it the Sneeze or whatever the fuck? I mean, I think that.
I mean, if we're talking about the first motion picture which would be like the train thing.
Yeah. According to this,
technically.
What? Oh no, that's the first Prince. Okay, hold on. What was the first movie? It's called. Oh, it's the guy. Oh, they say that The Horse in Motion is the first film, right? But I was like,
that's kind of
That's right? Like a short, right? If any.
Well, I guess it depends because movies are just motion pictures in general, right? So like, I guess The Horse would technically count. And films back then didn't even last that long anyway.
Right. It's not like what today's standards are like what you would call like a quote-unquote movie now, right?
Yeah, so I guess it does count.
I'm going to say, what was the first big budget movie?
Do we want to consider big budget movies? Because I'm thinking the Moon one.
Whoa, you know boy, that's not a good tease. Okay, never mind. I regret looking that up now.
Wait, what? The Moon?
No.
Why you regret the Moon?
Okay. Okay. This is what it says according of Hollywood Epic. Okay. You got something different. I looked up the first big budget movie, and the result was not a good one.
Wait, what was the result?
Oh, hey, look, let's just say that the nation of America needed a new birth. All right.
Oh my god! No, not that one. Oh no.
1915 was the first big budget Hollywood epic. I definitely regret looking that up now.
I rather have not consider look, technically it is a movie, but it is definitely not a good one. God, I'd rather not consider that a movie at all, but under technicality it is, I guess. But that's like what,
1914
or
nope,
something
1915.
Like I was close. Okay. But yeah, when America was still young and racist.
Oh yeah, like, good thing we got over that, right?
Yeah. Now we're just old and racist. God, you think we?
Look, America's only 200 years old, right? We're not like other nations, right? Which has been there since the 14th century, right? Right? And we, right? It's not like Europe, where they dealt with all that problem, right?
Oh yeah, they for sure dealt with that problem. Like look at the UK for example.
What do you mean? The UK's got what they wanted, They wanted to leave, and now they left.
Yeah, sure. Oh my
god. We should
probably
talk about this
episode. That was a big ass fucking
Oh boy. Well, I did not expect for us to go off that long about that.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess talking.
Yeah, but anyway, Haruka's being a stupid millennial girl on her stupid phone, right? She doesn't know.
Yeah,
she doesn't know the joy of calling someone, right?
Yeah, she doesn't know the joy of calling someone on her phone when her phone's right in front of her.
Right.
Yeah, that definitely didn't happen or anything like that.
Yeah, but don't worry,
actually,
but don't worry. But thankfully, Haruka's drunk aunt can tell her what it's like to live back when housing only cost like $10,000 to buy and gas was 10 cents, right? She's like,
yeah.
because all Haruka knows is avocado on her toast and Starbucks, and holy shit, we made this fucking joke, same joke back to back. Now I just fucking realized, God, fuck, I just fucking realized we're making this exact same fucking joke back to back, except this time Tariq's not in it.
Oh my god, yeah, that's very much true. Oh my god.
This is what Congress wanted, right? Congress wanted us to talk about what it was like to live in the 1950s, right? In our stupid Japanese,
right.
In our stupid fucking podcast about a Japanese kid show.
Yeah, back when they were young and racist on the phone.
Yeah, that's right. Look, what do you mean? What do you mean? Well, Japan's never been racist, right?
Yeah, sure it hasn't. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but hey, Haruka needs to learn how to block people on her phone now, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of like, especially after how he treated her before, I'm like, why are you even bothering to talk with this guy?
Mm-hmm.
He literally cries for his mom every single time something happens and bends you at the last moment. This is like the exact same situation we had with Inuzuka and that other guy who ran off on his girl. Except she should have just blocked him right from the get-go or something. I don't know. She just doesn't do it, and then she's just has this weird moment which it took me out because it felt like a very much a JoJo's moment where where the character explains in detail a piece of history to explain what's gonna happen later on.
Oh yeah, because if you think about it, no one who's watching this show, right, or at least the target demographics, know what the fuck Haruka is talking about, so they need a visual aid, right? Like nobody knows. No fucking child of today's fucking culture knows anything about phone booths, right?
Yeah, because everyone is born with a smartphone in their hand. As soon as you're born, your hand is a smartphone. That's how it works.
Right. Look,
exactly.
Look, you know what they say? All children born come with their phone pre-installed with TikToks now.
Yeah, exactly. It's pre-installed with TikTok.
Kids love TikTok, what do you mean? That's how the kids talk when they only talk about the TikToks now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they only talk about the TikToks and all the dances that you find on TikTok and all the reused jokes that are used over and over and over again that don't even add to anything to the original joke. They just remake the same joke.
You don't like that stupid TikTok voice you don't like that stupid TikTok voice,
I hate that voice so much. I hate it.
I think everyone hates that TikTok voice,
And people still use it for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Yes, look, Japan used to have a lot of phone booths, alright?
Yeah, but of course smartphones happen, and they're like, well, gotta get rid of these goddamn phone booths, and so that's exactly what this one telephone construction company, I suppose,
removal company, I guess. All right, real quick before we get started. Hey, so I don't know if this was like a editorial choice, but when Haruka got the text message, right? Were they in English for you?
What, the wording?
Yeah.
They were not. They were not for me.
Okay, because this is what's on my. Hold on. Let me quickly
like screenshot it and then share.
Right, this is what I have on my screen when Hanamaru were to. I open up my trash bin. Whoops.
Like Hanamura or
yeah.
Like
this was on my screen when he texted Haruka. Right. Was that like that for you?
Oh wait, hold on. Let me double check.
Go to like the 158 mark.
157, 58. Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's there. That is there.
It's like me. That too. If you think this makes no sense for it to be like this.
I mean, okay. Initially, for me, I would have assumed that was like maybe like the subgroup or something like that.
They edited over right. Then it occurred to me, this would make no sense because they're both fucking Japanese, and I'm pretty sure none of them know fucking English to talk. So it makes no sense for them to edit these screens to fit English characters, right?
Yeah.
Right, because normally in these types of scenarios, when in foreign movies, right, when someone fucking says, like, you just get subtitles of the fucking text, right? It probably like asterisk or like in italicized text to let the audience know that these are the text and not like the actual discussion, right? Right, so I don't know if this was in like in the original Japanese fucking broadcast, right? But if it was, then it would make no fucking sense. Right.
I genuinely would not think that it would be in the original Japanese.
Boy, I don't know if I feel like actually going out of my way to actually looking for this now because of this shit, right?
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's just minor and it gives context.
But it's just so fucking dumb and stupid how they're texting in English to each other, right?
Yeah, initially when you first see it, you're like, why are they texting in English?
And the worst part is that fucking broken English, right? I would expect at least like that's how I know my immersion is broken within this show when they text in perfect English to each other, right? Yeah, that's it. That's where I draw the line. That's where the realism that's where I draw the line at realism in this show. Right? Everything
perfectly
up until this point.
Wording. Oh my god, that's where
you
draw the line.
That's where it's over for me. It's over, right?
Yeah, exactly. Immersion ruined. The show's getting canceled.
That's right.
This moment. Let's go on Twitter.
Can I actually find the Raw?
Let's go cancel it on TikTok.
You're right.
That's what we gotta do.
Okay. Oh, I can find the Raw. I'm actually gonna get the Raw right now. I'm gonna get the Raw in the background just so I can actually see if he actually texts in English or not.
Yeah, and then you get like.
So back to the episode. Like, so they get called and they fight this week's monster. Right.
Also, like Haruka fucking disappears and everything, and so like, and I only mention that because it will come up later on anyway, and like the aunt notices, where is she? But then this week's monster comes up. And then, all right,
so this week's enemy is Hisoki. It's the Go-Onger Hisosuke, right? Right. Okay. So like always, as you know, we play this stupid fucking game, right? Of how does this week's enemy correlate to the Sentai theme, right?
Right.
And I'll be real, I don't fucking know. Like, this is the only idea I got, right, on how it correlates, right? Is that she's a ghost stuck from, like, the 1970s or 90s? 70s, right, I believe?
They mentioned
she died in the 1970s.
I think
like, she died 50 years ago or some shit, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, right? So I assume why this week's enemy is going is because time moved so fast for her and she's out of time. Like, time moved. Like they're using the Sentai that's about speed and race car to be like, as an actual metaphor for time moving fast. Like, that's like the only correlation I can make from this shit.
Really?
Which is
the worst. There wasn't like a character that maybe died in like the season or something like that.
Like of love or no, right? And even now that I think about it, this is still such a big stretch. It's such a bad argument that I realized they should have just fucking used Time Ranger for this week's enemy, if that's what they're trying to go for with this week's enemy. Holy shit, I just wrote this episode way better now that I think about it. Right, like, I legitimately do not understand why this week's enemy is Go-Onger, right? Because there was, like, at the top of my head, I don't remember any type of weird love subplot in Go-Onger for this. To be like there's like nothing, there's like nothing about this week's plot that has any correlation to Go-Onger off the top of my head, right? And that the only argument I can make for is that time moves fast. That's it. She's out of place in time. You know, like she died and the world just continue on without
like, just moving on and
yeah, right, like a car. You know, actually, the car moves fast, right? Right.
Maybe because there's.
But even that, this is such like the weakest argument you could ever have for something, right?
No, yeah, for sure, I agree with that. Like, if they were going to go for that, they could just use Time Ranger because But they already did Time Ranger, I think, right?
No, they have not done Time Ranger yet. We have not done a Time Ranger Hisotsuki yet.
Okay, no, I'm thinking of Jetman for a hot
second. Yeah, you think of Jetman. Yeah, but right? But yeah, like this is just such a fucking bad pick, right? It also doesn't help that it's only been like two episodes since we had fucking Tsuyoshi become the Car Ranger. Fucking Hisotsuki is like, oh boy, look, we already have another fucking car theme enemy again. That was. Actually, I think we went through all the car theme Sentai season already because we had the Turbo Ranger Hisotsuki already too as well. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, we did.
Oh boy, yeah, they really want to get rid of all these car themes enemy, you know, right?
Yeah, but you know. We can only do so much when you have every single season like repeat a theme over and over. You know?
Goddamn these cars! All right, okay, I got the raw. Okay, I'm gonna look for the raw right now. All right, you keep talking about this as well. I look at the raw.
Right. Well, I mean, they find like the whole fucking team just like fucking shoots at the fucking enemy, and they're like, oh,
okay,
well,
yeah, you're right. Okay, it was a subgroup. They did edit the message.
Yeah, that's what I.
Yeah, so the original Japanese broadcast, he definitely texted her in Japanese. So it's even that's still such a bad fucking choice for them to do that. They should not have done that. They literally should have just left the message untranslated and just put the English text above it or in the subtitle.
You know what would have been nice if they just like put an asterisk on each of the texts and
right,
let me get you corner say this is translated.
Yeah, right to the audience instead of because if you think it makes no sense for the audience to be reading there, right? Because just the original, honestly, right? That's the original Japanese screen right there. Okay.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, that would have been like that feels a lot more natural.
Yeah, right. Instead of fucking having a character text in English to a girl, like, hey. You want to go over our English lessons? This week's lessons we talked about I still like you and let's talk it over again, you know, right? Good thing our English lesson this week correlates to this fucking me texting you these, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, they fight the monster.
Yeah.
And then the monster like legit dips out as soon as the
hey, fuck off, I'm leaving. Bye.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then
and then Haruka noticed a girl. I was like, oh hey, what's up with that? Oh, what's up with this girl? You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then then she vanishes off and is up to the opening credits. Also, real quick, I wanted to mention the opening credits because I noticed this after watching the preview for the next episode. Right. So you know how in the preview for next episode they show like I suppose a new form for Jiru.
His silver form. Yeah.
Yeah, his silver form. They show that in the opening credits.
Yeah, it's always been there.
I never noticed it.
Oh, really? Have you not noticed it? It's always been there.
No, I never noticed the silver form.
Look, wait, like I said, right, Toei likes to only film like one opening every 4 weeks, right? So when it's time to update the opening, like we gotta cram all this shit in right now, right? Because we're not filming this fucking opening again. You know, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah, so the openings are always spoilers and everything.
Oh wow, okay, so I didn't recognize that. So wait, did I miss spoilers like in the other openings too?
Yeah, probably, but I don't think it was relevant for us to notice, you know. I mean, like, they spoiled, okay. I mean, technically they did spoil the Megazord formation, right? Before they made the Megazord, right?
Yeah, that's true. I guess it never really clicked in my head before. Huh,
right, but to be fair, because most of the time people just skip past the opening, right? right, because they always skip as soon as the opening starts to the point where you don't realize that, hey, you're watching the updated opening, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But, moving away from my recent revelation of the openings being like this, and I will be looking forward for spoilers in future seasons.
Okay.
Haruka literally appears right back in her fucking chair and her aunt notices.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
her aunt notices too, which is the funniest thing.
Yeah, and then she's just like, when did you get back? It's like, oh, ooh, food, and then, Haruka dips out. But I'm like, I figured there'd be more talk about this because this is kind of major because you don't just get your fucking niece to like come in and be like, hey, I disappeared and popped back in.
But as we clear, this aunt is probably always drinking, right? Right, so she probably didn't notice Haruka, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And
so
I like
she was
this
just
alcoholic aunt
subplot
like... we established within this show, so I'm just gonna keep going with it, right?
Yeah, that's true. So, maybe she's just like, oh, I've been drinking too much today. I should probably just lay off the wine for a little bit,
I should drink another glass of wine to get my mind off the fact that I might be drunk.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just drink more to forget my drunkenness. Oh my god. Then next thing you know, she was like, when was I in the hospital?
Yeah.
What happened? Maybe I should drink some more to remember. I don't know.
Yeah, so Haruka goes back to the phone booths and meets a girl in there and everything. Right.
Yeah, and then I guess she like introduces herself with the whole like, oh, you want to be friends? Oh,
yeah.
Be my
and
friend.
And then Haruka
this
has the
audacity
to call
type.
this girl crazy. Okay. what a fucking hypocrite she is.
Yeah, considering the fact that she's like, oh my god, like she has a temper herself. Like, oh, and I think she literally broke her tray in half at one point too. Yeah,
she did.
Definitely got issues too. Yeah, but that's like called the pot caught in the kettle black at this point, you know. And but anyway, Ghost Girl's glad that she has a friend now.
Or at least someone can see her, right?
Yeah, that someone could see her. Although I'm kind of curious as to why she could see her in the first place, considering everyone else has to hold their breath. But that's a later issue. But yeah, like she fucking heads back home after like this lady's nutso. I'm gonna fucking go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And so she's like, "Hey, are you making dinner, auntie?" And it's like, "Yeah, I'm making dinner." And then Ghost Girl's right there on the fucking couch.
And
then she has like literally her aunt can't see her, and she's like, "Okay, something weird's going on." She looks in the mirror and like, "Oh, so she's a ghost." Okay. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised at how well she took it, considering like the fact that she's now haunted by a ghost, But she gets over. She honestly gets over that kind of quickly after some very serious dramatics that were happening.
I mean, she does say she's having a panic attack from it, right? So I don't think she fucking gets over it real quickly,
Well. Quick enough, considering I would have been like, I'm fucking haunted by a ghost. I need to call an exorcist right fucking now, Because you don't want a fucking ghost in your goddamn house.
I mean, look, the ghost ends up leaving,
juju.
So it does pay out for her, right?
I guess, but
yeah,
then,
the ghost leaves saying, someone has to call me right now. So Haruka follows her and everything, and then it turns out like, no one called the ghost and everything.
Yeah, so then she just heads back to the cafe and calls everyone else up, and then the ghost is also with her, and then everyone's just kind of like.
Everyone thinks that she's crazy, like, oh man, yeah, right? And they're like, oh man, fuck this, this high school girl is fucking crazy, says the homeless man and the guy who has an inferiority complex, right? Oh man, I keep on talking to this fucking crazy girl all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly right. But then, Tsuyoshi, I guess at some point holds his breath and then he's like, "Oh, I see the ghost girl now," which I'm like, sure, I guess holding your breath counts. For some reason,
yeah,
I guess.
I mean, if you think about it, right? Because they're cutting off your air supply, right? So your brain is not getting air, right? So that's
so.
Again,
so wait,
I'm gonna do a lot of stretching, right? A bunch of fucking like, I'm gonna assume this is the reason this episode, right?
Yeah, but the thing is like, if they're gonna establish this for like this whole like, oh, I'm gonna hold my breath thing, right? Later on, they pretty much abandoned that, because like you get it where like I mean I guess they do this other thing where I guess if she like looks at an attractive guy, then they'll see her, I guess, which is whatever, which is fine I guess for me, but like the other two guys all have to hold their breath, but later on in the other episode they just don't, and they recognize that she's there so this kind of becomes a bit of a moot point, I suppose is the word I'm looking for. Because it's just like all right, sure, I guess that's you establish it, then you quickly get rid of the rule, or whatever.
Right.
Anyway, so then they feel like, oh, she's a ghost. So like, okay, so how do we put her to fucking rest? How do we rebury her in the fucking ground?
Should we call Patrick Swayze for this?
Yeah, well, technically she would be the Patrick Swayze in this situation.
Well, you're right.
So they would have to call. What was the co-star? What was her name?
Demi Moore.
What was her name?
Demi Moore.
Jean Moore?
No, Demi Moore.
Jean Moore?
No.
Or Demi Moore?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to look
so
that.
Yeah, they would have to find their they would have to. Hold on.
Okay. Are you having a panic attack?
I'm trying to do the thing where they have to find the Demi Moore to her Patrick Swayze.
Okay, there you go.
How I was trying to say it.
Okay.
Look, I'm sorry. Okay, I was thinking about the other things, like how Peter's like, oh yeah, blue is to sky as red is to apple or something bullshit, but it didn't exactly work out. So then they're like, okay, so you have to basically find what was his name? Tadokoro Shinzo.
Yeah, Shinzo. Right? Boy, hey, not a good week for this episode air for a ghost to be looking for a dead ghost to be looking for someone named Shinzo. All right.
Hey, at least. Oh, okay. I was gonna start saying that at least this one was alive, but
Hey, but hey,
that's a little insensitive. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, look, you know what they say.
Very badly timed on that part, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, she thinks every hot guy is Shinzo, right?
Yeah, but I mean, but by way of her description of the man and by Haruka's drawing, fairly attractive man, I suppose. Considering it's an anime sketch or manga sketch, whatever you call it specifically. But that everyone's just kind of try to figure it out, and as soon as fucking Taru shows up, she's like, "Oh, is this Shinzo?" And then he's like, "Oh, I can see you," and then she's like. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised she didn't have this reaction earlier, but actually, what was the ghost? I'm just gonna refer as the ghost.
Yeah, I think we just refer to her as Ghost Girl,
Yeah, the ghost girl looks at fucking Kaito, is like, oh, are you Shinzo? Like, how did you not see him earlier? He's right there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kaito probably just saw her, just didn't acknowledge it, right? He's like, yep, that's a ghost in my fucking store, right?
Yeah. But then again, Kaito in this series just lets a lot of things happen. He just kind of lets things fly. But yeah, Shinzo not Shinzo. I'm sorry. Then Inuzuka comes in and she's like, "Oh, are you Shinzo?" And it's like, "Oh, you can see it." Also, I swear to fucking God, fucking Inuzuka comes in, and it's just like the whole team's there, but they don't know it's him. They just accept that he's there. Like, what the fuck, dude?
I mean, because nobody knows who he is, He's just a wanted fugitive guy, right?
Yeah, but it's just like, oh, all right. But, then we kind of... Everyone's like, okay, so how do we find fucking Shinzo? And then it cuts to the next scene where I'm fucking... Sonoza.
Right? No, this scene is fucking, I don't know. This scene has, no purpose when in this episode. Holy shit. This scene leads to nowhere. Right.
It feels like it's I guess it might just lead into something else in the next episode, but in the context of this one, it just doesn't.
It's so fucking. I mean, the only thing we know is that we see the fucking manga, and that's it. We see Haruka's fucking stupid manga. But I was like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? But within the context, this episode absolutely leads nowhere because he doesn't even show up in this episode as well, which is the funniest. Which is the best thing.
Yeah, he just shows up in this bit and then nowhere else.
Right, there's no payoff for him to show up here, right? Unless they're gonna do something, right? It's just so fucking random that he shows up, right? And then somehow fucking Kijo finds the fucking guy right through the worst possible way. I thought he was gonna go through like a phone book or do the internet, but no, apparently he has the guy's fucking business card at some point. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
which is it goes back to how like there's a lot of stretch in this episode. Like, okay, sure, I guess he happens to have this guy's business card, right?
I would have accepted a lot better if he was just saying, "Hey, I'm looking for an old client. Can you help me find his client?" It's like,
no, but the problem is there's no establishment of
him
being a client to begin with, right? Like the ghost never says any clues.
No, there is the only real lead-in that we do have about this is the fact that Tsuyoshi takes that one moment to kind of like say, Tadako Shinzo, I've heard this name before from somewhere. That's literally it, But like,
yeah, but it's still like this is still a really big stretch, right?
It's like I was hoping like if anything, it would have been a lot better if he just asked people like, hey, have you heard of this person? He could just lie or fib and say he was an old client of mine, and then somebody looks them up, and then is like, here you go, we found the person or something,
Right?
It would have been a lot better, at least for me. But I guess it's whatever because they're just kind of very like they just push through with this.
Yeah, like they're really getting through this whole fucking finding Shinzo plot real quick, right?
Yeah, and then Haruka is like. Wondering about how like fucking the ghost girl is doing, so she goes and visits her at the phone booth and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, also apparently, this is the thing where it comes out of nowhere for me, right? Where it's kind of like, if only because they didn't establish that they were gonna do this, where Haruka asks the ghost girl, hey, so how did your dates with the guys not go well? I'm like, why is she going on dates with them? I thought they were gonna go look for the guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I'm not gonna lie. All the bits that we have here are fucking great, right? But you didn't establish that like the fact that they were gonna go on dates to see if she can move on by finding like having like she wanted to go on a date with Shinzo and have a wonderful date. Maybe having a wonderful date with the other guys would have done something for her, right? And so, like, if they gave a line like that earlier, I would be like, okay, cool. Now we know why this is here. But it's kind of like out of the blue, out of the cut, where it's just like,
right?
Okay.
So it's really fucking random, right?
Yeah, it randomly happens.
For these characters to be doing this, right?
Yeah, and again, don't get me wrong. I love the bits that happen.
Yeah,
here.
right? Like, it showed that Taro, right? At first I thought Taro was just gonna be a fucking asshole about throwing their whole date or whatever the fuck. Right? Because
he kind of was in the beginning.
But in my head, I was like, oh no, like, look, Taro might be a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, discounting the fact that he ignored her about the flowers and literally took no time at all, But, like, he tries. He at least tried at some point, with the whole flying thing. I would say Inuzuka is literally, like, the best date out of all of them, if only because, like, he actually paid attention to her and so, tried to do something about it.
Yeah.
Which is also really great where he kind of just transformed in the middle of the fucking, like, park or whatever.
Yeah.
And just goes into his fucking Inu brother form.
Mm-hmm.
And I got so annoyed. I was hoping that by this point, we would get, like, the reveal, at least through her, where, that he is Inu brother.
Oh, no.
Of course, Inuzuka's like, don't tell the rest about this, that kind of thing. I'm like, oh my god, when are we gonna get the full team together? When is this gonna be a thing?
Mm-hmm.
No,
that's never happening.
Then, yeah, but then she's like, oh, the dates were great, but they were very hard to relate to, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, Haruka, she's one to talk, but she also does have a point considering she's like a ghost. But I swear to God, Kaito's was probably like the best bit because I swear to God, the way he came in, fucking dressed as like, what was he supposed to be dressed as? Like a fucking like extravagant cowboy or something, right?
I thought it was supposed to be an Elvis fucking that type of thing.
Yeah, that's what I initially thought too, but it was the most wild.
It was either that or like I said, look, for some reason, look, Toei's really on this whole fucking Spanish culture all of a sudden, I feel like they bought a bunch of Spanish outfits, right? And now they just have a surplus of them in the fucking studio, right? And they're like, oh fuck, we gotta right? We bought too many fucking Spanish outfit for fucking Revice, and now we have a whole fuck ton of these, so I guess we gotta make use of them, so fuck it, we gotta find a reason, right? To keep using these outfits.
Honestly.
Right.
I mean, you can't. It's like you have to use it because it was in the
budget.
Like
he definitely had like something like I thought it was like some type of Elvis not luchador. That's not the one. What's that?
Mariachi? Like a bullfighter.
Is that the
bullfighter or something?
Is that the word I'm looking?
A mariachi, like from the mariachi bands where like
like a mariachi outfit. Like that's what it looks like to me, right?
Yeah, I can get that too. I initially thought like either cowboy or like a fucking bullfighter.
Right, yeah, that's what I thought. Right, I was like, thinking, boy, Halo, Toei really just found out that Spanish culture exists all of a sudden. Someone at Toei fucking took a vacation to Spain over to someone like, holy shit, this culture is amazing. We can have all right Japanese characters dressed in these crazy outfits,
Yeah. But getting back into the episode, fucking Kaito gets the attention of all the girls, and understandably, she's like, "I'm not for that because I'm not the center of attention in this date at all." But and Haruka has honestly nothing to say about that. But she's the ghost goes like, "Well, the only one I have for me is Shinzo," and so she kind of goes back to like the phone booth and just like hoping for the call, and it is really sad, that kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
And then then it's the next day at the cafe, and Tsuyoshi has found Shinzo, and so Shinzo comes in, and then they kind of explain the circumstances, I suppose, where Shinzo's all like, oh yeah, she was the ghost girl was my first love and everything, and so
right.
I have to. And so they're like, okay. Also, it's really wild to me that they like
they showed the entire fucking scene. Oh, I was not expecting that. Holy shit.
About what?
Like her death?
Oh no, sorry. That's a little ahead. But I'm talking more of the fact that Shinzo was very on board with his plan, even though he should have had some skepticism about the fact that he's going to be calling it a ghost.
I think it's more the fact that. Right, is that these people bring this up? Like, how would they know this type of stuff? Right, right. So I guess they must know something about the ghost girl, right? Right.
Yeah, I suppose I get that. Yeah.
Right. So he was like, oh, right. So they know that they're doing something good, and he goes along with it like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but of course they go with it where they, where they make the call and stuff, and So, also, yeah, her getting run over was kind of a bit of a shock, seeing that on screen, Yeah. Where they had the whole dramatization, like, oh, she got ran over, and then, her body's right there.
Yeah,
right in front of the fucking phone booth.
Like, I thought they were just gonna cut it, like, there, like, right, and then just show the umbrella going up, and, like, that's it, right? That's the scene, right? Like how you would get away with it in like a TV show, in like an American, like, right? Right? Before you get that TV rating, before the FCC's like, hey, no, hey, we're gonna add that's a TV 14 now. You can't get away with that TV Y7 rating now of a PG rating, right? But holy shit, the fact that they actually show her body on the ground and everything, like, Jesus, fuck. Oh, right?
Yeah,
like, all you had to do was show the implication, and people would have...
Yeah, and usually that'd be enough, but apparently they wanted to go further and say, oh no, she died right there.
Yeah,
that's where she died.
I was like, holy, I actually felt like, jeez, when I saw that scene,
Yeah.
Like, I was definitely not expecting that to happen. Or at least that scene to happen.
But then, she's in the middle of the call, and the removal company is,
right.
They do come by. Okay, let's try to get rid of it.
Let's try again. Hey, yesterday just wasn't our day. We're gonna try again today. Today's our day.
Yeah, and then of course Ghost Girl's mad.
Yeah, and then turns out they can't fight a ghost. Right.
Yeah, and so everyone quickly figures out. Oh, so it was trying to protect the phone booth, but they of course have to get involved and fight the monster off so that it doesn't hurt the removal workers. And so of course they transform and everything, and
yeah,
they
and then all of a sudden
Jiro
remembers he's in this episode, which is the funniest thing.
God, that's also like another thing with me, where it's like this is probably one of the most pointless scenes that I've ever had in
oh yeah, no, right? They
so
just
far.
this is definitely a filler scene, or the fact that they forgot that these two characters are in the show, right?
Yeah, and it's just like they're quickly added in where like Jiru is like, oh, I'm gonna fight
Murasame, right?
then,
Off like over here, away from everyone else, right? And this is definitely not a scene that we're definitely filming after, after we filmed the and then we have to quickly edit into the episode, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like
their fight scene is cool.
Whatever,
like, there's a lot of camera work. They do a lot of camera. There's like a lot of sparks and everything, right? But I was like, hey, look, not now. Now, this is not the time for this. You guys should be doing this somewhere else.
Yeah, it's like it serves no again, like with like fucking Isono's. It's like it doesn't feel like it serves anything to the plot directly. Like especially because like you bring the first love hero, I think, manga, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you think it's gonna tie to Haruka in some way, but then it doesn't. And then you bring these two in, and they're just there to fight. It's just like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they here?
Right.
It's just there so that we don't forget, I guess. But I'm just like, this is whatever to me.
Yeah.
So, of course. So they're fighting, and then they get into the
main zone, and then they gotta stall. Sword. They gotta stall and wait for the ghost for Ghost Girl to pass on and everything, right? Right?
Yeah, and
then she eventually does pass on. It's like, all right, good. Hey, look, there's at least a happy ending with this storyline, right?
Well, it's bittersweet, if anything, considering the fact that it's just acknowledging, man, time passed, and we.
That's right. Hell, you know what to say? Time just moves. Just like moves too fast, right?
Yeah,
sure. Relationships in this wiki Sotsuki, you gotta.
Look, time's like a car; it only moves forward. Okay.
God, I really hate this week's fucking anime. It doesn't have a bad design, but like thematically, it's like such a fucking bad design pick.
Yeah. Like
thematic
it doesn't fit.
Right, because that's the thing, right? Because Time Ranger actually had a love subplot within the show as well, which is the worst thing, right? Like, because Time Ranger, like the more I think about it, like the more how Time Ranger 100% should have been this week's enemy, right? Because there's so much element of Time Ranger that fits way better into this episode,
Yeah, it would have worked better because you had the love plot. You could tie that in with the how time moves forward because it's a ghost girl stuck in time waiting for her one love, and then it would have worked.
It's just so fucking.
You can make a solid argument
that they chose like the most unrelated Sentai theme for this episode. But yeah, the ghost girl finally was able to pass on, right?
Yeah, as bittersweet as it is,
Mm-hmm. Right, and Haruko's still getting harassed, right? She still needs to learn how to block people's number, Right.
Yeah, and she just tells him off, which I guess is the next best thing. But you legit have a good reason, not to put a pun on it, but she totally should have just ghosted him.
Oh,
that's the thing. Yeah, ha ha he, right? Yeah, unintentional, but yeah, but like, yeah, she really should have blocked him.
Mm-hmm.
But like, honestly, like, I really do enjoy this episode.
Oh, I really like ignoring the fucking like. I think there's only 2 bad scenes throughout this entire episode, right? It was definitely the Sonoza and the Jiro and Murasame fight, right? Like those scenes did not happen, and you could have just edited that shit out. Right.
Yeah, and the whole bit with the monster not really fitting with the theme could have, like, if you could rework that with Time Ranger, would have worked a lot better.
Yeah, like besides those 3 points, this was a really well. I mean, I guess you want to say, I guess you could complain about the whole fucking finding Shinzo thing, how that was quickly resolved, right? But then again, you gotta realize there's a show and they can't have these characters spend like 15 minutes trying to find some old Japanese guy, right? But this was a really good episode, right? This is probably like my favorite episode so far in the series.
Because you have like the team get it like genuinely resolve the issues of the people who turn into a monster. Because in the previous episodes, they kind of just like defeat the monster, and I guess it's resolved, but it's not resolved in any real meaningful way. But in here, it's just like they saw the problem, they tried to deal with it one way, then they dealt with it another way, and then they actually gave a rather good, even if bittersweet, conclusion to the characters' issues. You know, and it's just like, this is great, I love this. Give us more of this.
Right.
You know. And it's fine. It's a solid episode.
Right.
So I'm looking forward that we'll get more of that in later episodes, especially. But you know, nothing to complain about except for what we did complain about in this already in the podcast.
Yeah.
So there you go. But I mean, I guess that's it.
Yeah,
honestly.
that's it. That's all I got. Yeah. Well, this week was a really good episode. That's all I had to say. All right. That's it. All right. Hey, look. Yep. Hey, I'm in Chicago right now. It's a great city, you know. I visit the bean, right? You know, that giant bean in Chicago, right?
That's not a thing.
Yeah, you don't know about the bean, the giant bean in Chicago?
Wait, are you saying beam or bean?
Bean.
Beam?
Yeah, the BEAN.
Okay, so it was a bean?
Yeah, you don't know about this?
No, I don't.
Oh boy, you should visit
bean?
Chicago. You know,
What?
I mean, it's supposed to be a cloud, I think, but people fucking make fun of it, call it a fucking bean.
Yeah, it's called the cloud.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't look like a cloud at all.
Shut the fuck up. The artists worked very hard on this, you know, right?
Yeah, they worked very hard on the bean, not on a fucking cloud.
Oh, what do you mean? It's supposed to represent America, you know.
What, as a bean?
And look, you know what they say? Oh, America can either be a cloud or a bean.
That's so dumb. Oh my god.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Okay, are we done?
I think we're
All right. I'm gonna go eat some
Bean's
Chicago
gonna
deep dish pizza now. You know, that's.
Oh, let me know how that pizza is.
And I'll let you know if there's any beans on it. All right.
Oh my god. Yes.
Okay. All right. That's it. Okay, we're done. Okay, I think we stalled this shit on long. All right. Coronavirus is still a thing. Wear a mask. Get your shots. The boozer's a thing now. Okay, thanks. Bye.